So you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas, Nevada? Well, in this video, we're going to talk to you about what you probably have already heard. New construction is the place to be when you're thinking about purchasing a new home here in the Las Vegas, Nevada area. We have seen an uptick in the concessions that builders are willing to give our buyers in this market. If you're moving from California, from Hawaii, those are the two biggest places that we've seen most of our new residents come from over this past year, California and Hawaii. So if you're thinking about those areas, reach out to us. We'd love to let you know exactly what these new builders are doing for our buyers. Make sure you stay with us to the end of the video, because at the end of the video, we're going to go over something extremely important, talking about the time in regards to how we're going to use these 7 tips and questions, so forth and so on, that we're going to give you in this video. And we know how to ask those questions. So like we always say, guys, let the show begin, because we're getting after it right now. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living here in the Las Vegas and the Henderson or the North Las Vegas area, make sure you tap that bell below and subscribe, and make sure you give us a thumbs up. We want to make sure that you guys get all the information you need in regards to moving here to the Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas area. With that, guys, we have seen a big uptick in regards to all of our folks moving from California, but not just California, also Hawaii, the 9th island. I know that the Hawaiians consider us the 9th islands. We've seen a big move from our Hawaiians coming here to the Las Vegas area. Why, guys? It's obvious. You guys know 100% lifestyle, living, cost of luxury, so forth and so on, is so much more inexpensive here, and you can enjoy such a better lifestyle here in the Las Vegas area. And we'd love to be a part of that journey with you. Let's jump into these 7 tips. Tip number 1 that we always suggest is definitely the biggest one. Get yourself pre-approved. We always want you to understand what your buying power is going to be. If you're paying cash, of course, that's going to be a different scenario. We just need to have what's called proof of funds in order for us to move forward with that builder. So again, getting your financial information in order is the biggest and the most important first step that we want you guys to do. If you do not have a lender or someone that you're used to doing that banking with, we can, of course, advise or at least refer over to you maybe 3 different lenders, and you can interview those people and decide which of those folks you'd like to work with. But again, let's get the financing in order. Let's not assume that we know we have great credit. Let's not assume that we know we're going to be fine getting banking. Let's get that together. You know what your buying power is. You're equipped. We can get you out there. We can truly negotiate on your behalf. Tip number 2, make sure you are working with a professional real estate agent, professional real estate team, so forth and so on. For some reason, some people have this belief that if you don't go with an agent, that somehow the builder is going to somehow give those funds that they've set aside for the broker and the agent somehow to you or take off of your deal. Please, they do not at all work with you in that manner. It is best to your benefit to have your own representation. We know that the agent that sits there at the site is there to work for the builder, work for the seller of that property, and make sure that their interest is taken care of. Make sure you do yourself the favor and make sure you have your own representation as well. So bring your agent with you on your first deal. Hi there, sweetie. Bring your agent with you on your first deal. Make sure you have representation. And tip number 3, make sure that you ask for the incentives. My dogs are all around me. They need attention. Number 3, ask for the incentives. Make sure you have an agent that is strong, firm, confident, and will be able to walk in there and ask for the incentives that the seller is willing to offer or that the builder is offering. Sometimes they may offer you 6% or 3% towards closing or whatever those different types of things may be. We know whether or not they're going to have a little bit more flexibility to be able to go in there and offer you more incentives where you can even use some of that cash to do other things. A 2-1 buy down. I'm not a lender. I'm not a mortgage lender. Not giving you that input, but we can at least give you some of those ideas. Money to bring down your interest rate. All of those different types of things. Money that you may want to use towards things like transfer costs or transfer taxes and all those different types of things, so that we can make sure that we're getting you the best deal in your pocket. We will know what to ask for. Let's make sure that, again, you come in with us. We'll be able to help out in regards to knowing exactly what kind of money or extra money we can help out in regards for you guys. They're actually for a lot of attention. Number 4, make sure you're going to not just work with an agent like we said before, but make sure you're working with a seasoned agent, in the sense that someone that's not going to just drop you off at the new incentives and then all of a sudden leave you as the transaction goes. Especially in this market, you want to make sure that you're working with an agent that's going to stay on top of this market, understand the changes that may be happening in this market, understand that if for some reason your prices decrease or incentives start to become more prevalent prevalent for other buyers that come in before you close on your property, that agent is going to be willing enough, strong enough, and understanding, more seasoned enough to be able to go in and ask for those incentives in addition to what you may have gone into contract with as well. Now, whether or not those builders are going to change those contracts, we don't know. But if you do not have an agent that's willing to at least ask that, you may not be able to save yourself thousands of dollars by the choice that you do and by the choice that you have. So again, not just get an agent, make sure you're working with a seasoned agent that is going to stay on top of this market while you are closing your transaction. So again, they can protect your interest in regards to what you're doing with your transaction. Tip number 5, guys, don't be afraid to walk away. In these scenarios, there are not going to be just one builder out there that's looking for other having these great incentives for this time period. Check out with us at the end of the video. You know exactly what I mean when I say this particular time period. But there's not going to be the only one builder in that regards. There are going to be multiple builders out there that do have incentives, that do have inventory out there that they want to get moved. They want to be able to move on to their next home, their next phases, so forth and so on. Do not get attached. Have some options out there. If they're not willing to come down a little bit more in regards to the things that you're asking for, don't be afraid to walk away. And tip number 6, let's be flexible in regards to our closing date. If you are blessed to be able to come in and you can do a cash deal, that cash deal may allow you, I can talk here, that may allow us to be able to close quicker with that builder, and that may be a great thing for them. They may be fantastic. They may be very excited about being able to maybe take some more off because you are bringing cash to the deal and being able to close with a full cash offer. There may be a spec home that they have, a move-in ready property that they want to get off of their books, and we come in with cash, we get it closed in 7 days, 14 days, whatever that may be. That's great news to their ears. And even with that being said, if we can even push out, if we're doing our loans, we're doing 35, 45 days, whatever that may be, or pushing it out 3 or 4 or 5 months, if we're flexible in regards to that close date, when the builder also really needs that, that can be something that we could use in order to incentivize them to give us a little bit more in regards to cash off or towards closings or whatever those things may be. So let's be very flexible in regards to that closing date. The biggest tips that we give folks is to make sure that they do their homework in regards to when they are buying. What state, mentality, so forth and so on are the builders going to be in? Are they in a space where they need to get rid of a lot of inventory? Are they in a space where they really want to be able to move these houses so that they can move on to their next phases? We know right now, as we said before, these builders have a lot of inventory out there. They're definitely willing to do more negotiations right now while this inventory is lasting, while the demand is slow. It is starting to pick up. We had in January, we had that uptick in mortgages in regards to people getting their applications, and then we had an uptick in regards to new construction being able to close in February. So we did see our builders, like we said in this article we're going to show you here at the end, they have a little bit more confidence. So we want to be able to get involved with this as soon as we possibly can, because the time in regards to when this season these builders want to get these properties moved is a great season and time right now. So make sure you're doing your homework in regards to the season that this builder may be in regards to where they may have with their inventory, whether he or she, they, what have you, want to be able to get these properties moved quicker and be able to do more incentives for us in that sense. Now, let's move into that great article that I talked to you guys about. So with all these wonderful tips, what I want you guys to really take in is this. It is going to be very time specific when these tips are going on, what's happening in the market, so forth and so on. I want to share with you a great article that we just saw on Inman News. Now, that article basically says that home builders are feeling a lot more optimistic as the market begins to thaw. At the end of the article, this is basically the section that I want you guys to really understand when I say time of the market is very important. Just because we bought something 4 or 5 months ago doesn't mean it's going to be the same thing. We definitely have understood that. Just because someone bought a property 10 years ago doesn't mean it's going to be the same way that you buy it in today's market. That's one of the reasons you always want to check in with one of your local professionals in regards to what is truthfully going on. At the end of that article, it states this: according to the NAHB's February survey, 31% of home buyers reduced home prices in February, down 35% in December and 36% in November. So we're starting to see that decrease. The average price drop was 6% in February. Those are my dogs in the background. And then down 8% in December. Now, 50 57% of builders offered some kind of concessions to the buyers, and that was down from 62% that was offered in December. So we can see December 62%, now February, sometime in that February timeframe it dropped down to 57. We're seeing that slow decrease. This is not to make you say, oh yeah, jump on it now, but this is just definitely to say, if you come to us in 4 or 5 months, will these builders be doing the same thing? We don't know what's going to be happening in this wonderful market, in this wonderful world of ours. Bottom line, with that being said, guys, reach out if you're moving here. Like we always say, 9 days, 90 days. Give us a thumbs up, give us a tap of the bell, reach out to us. We'd love to make sure that we can be of assistance to you and helping you find a great new construction home and putting these 7 tips into practice for you. See you guys in the next video. Take care.